Good morning, everybody. Day 2 here of the Banks tournament at Ox Billiards. Trying to get this scoreboard all situated so you guys could see what's actually happening here. Let's see. And then we're ready to go. Who's your pick for today? This is a heck of a match here. Ed Hobbs versus James DeVee. This will be a race to 3. Ed Hobbs coming off his brilliant play at the Northwest Cup here at Ox with his patented trucker hat. Happy that you guys are joining us. If you can't be here in person, that's why we have this stream. Come on down and enjoy a piping hot cup of Kova coffee. Oh my God, it's so good. Kova is a company owned by Angela Higgins, who is the president of the Northwest Women's Pool Association. So there is a Q Sports link to the coffee that we serve. Most everything that we do here is in some way or another related to Q Sports as best we can. Want to support it. Support the growth, the professional growth of this game in America. Don't go in. Oh, look at that cue ball control by Ed. All right, everybody, I'll just go ahead and get off the mic. Let you guys enjoy this. We have the, as you can tell, we have the table mic all figured out. Yesterday it was kind of wonky, but we're all whole here. Thanks to Joel Peck for shouting out. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Test, test. Alrighty, coming down to the final ball. Of course, this first rack goes 4-4 between these two great Pacific Northwest players. Cue ball. That's the danger with that cross bank. Get some feedback here. Ed Hobbs loses a point there. Penalty ball plus the ball he made comes out. It's going to try to roll it up here. Typically the move that we saw yesterday. Oh, leaked out. Yeah, it turns out we still have a problem with the main mic. Something that we overlooked after the Northwest Cup, reconnecting everything. Get that sorted, if not today, very soon. I don't want to interrupt these players. We can live without a main view mic. Ed looks like he's got that penalty ball back. Not in terrible position here. Might have to use the rest. Looks like he's calling the right corner pocket. His right corner pocket. Thank you to Javier Valenzuela. Did a little wide on that shot. Thanks to Javier for immediately shouting out the static in our main view camera. Wonder if he can one bank this. It's tough to say in this angle. If he does, he's going to have to tighten up that angle by powering it. Let's see if he tries to do a 2-rail or a 1-rail. Trying to 1-rail, power it, tighten up the angle. Still didn't get it. Either he mishit the angle or he's trying to force an angle that wasn't there. Ed immediately sees his shot. Left corner pocket. His left, that is. Might be a little wide. We'll see if the pace helps him. Perfect pace. Way to go. All right, we'll be right back. That was an amazing first rack. See you guys very soon. right, we're back. I'm going to introduce Marcello, the TD and guest commentator for this match. How you doing, Marcello?
I'm doing well, thank you. Here we have Ed Hobbs and James DeVee. Ed was telling me on the right here, since I picked him at his house because he was having some car trouble, and he said that he had a tall order to beat James. Literally, because James is pretty tall. Anyway.
Play on words.
Yeah. I always say when you have to play a really high level player, it's always best to play him early in the morning when it's still cold.
Yeah, absolutely. And because of this camera angle, we are seeing a view not many people see of James DeVee, the top of his head. Yeah, that was a really nice first rack. Very entertaining. Of course, going 4-4.
Looks like the 7 may pass cross side. But the 6 might be taking a little bit off that angle. That's why he looked at it. So yeah, the 6 ended up being in the way. And it looks like he gave Ed a really good cross side to get started, and maybe running into the balls on the foot rail and opening him up a little bit. If Ed wants to put some speed on it. Ed plays with a more than one pocket style, more conservative. While you see rotation players, they like to fire more at the banks with speed.
Yeah, that was pretty noticeable yesterday when we saw more advanced or nuanced players, and then another match with pure shooters. It is interesting to see that dynamic and the approach that the different disciplined players take to this game.
Yeah, looks like he overcapped the cross side by some margin. He might have left a cross side on the 8 ball. He definitely left one on the 9 ball, and I expect James to shoot. I see like Tommy Aiken and plays a more conservative style one pocket. He wants to know exactly what he is moving, where he's going. When James gets in his groove, he just fires at the banks, and we'll deal with what comes up next. So,
Good morning, David Burney. We're doing pretty good today. We got Kova coffee in us, or at least I do, and that's going to carry me for the rest of this tournament. How's Canada treating you, Mr. Burney? Marcello, yesterday there were a few players saying that this is your game of choice. Is that true?
This is one of my favorite games. Also, I really like One Pocket. I play all the games, but Banks and One Pocket are my favorite. And I think that Banks is a cousin of One Pocket in that there is banking, there is moving, but it's also more of a feel game, because there are so many variables to negotiate that negotiating them all consciously becomes really overburdening. So it almost forces you to just use your subconscious mind and let the subconscious mind handle all the variables, like how much spin to use, what the speed. The speed is very important playing banks. And I think that's partly why I enjoy it. It's one of the games that makes me feel the most in the moment.
I like that description there. Kind of a leap of faith. You have an analytical brain and an unconscious knowledge brain, kind of working in tandem with the two games you like, the One Pocket and Banks.
Yeah, one pocket definitely forces you to think a lot more about the consequences of your shot. But bank pool is a cousin. It's more aggressive, but still has a pretty good moving element to it. First, when people first start playing bank pool, they think it's all about making the banks, and that's really with any pool game. When you first start, you think it's all about making the ball, and then everything else comes later. But there is definitely more strategy in bank pool than there is in nine ball. So like the standard game theory of the game is that you should be playing a safe cue ball if your bank is a lower percentage, and play shape on high percentage bank. So if you have a bank that's you expect to make like 80% of the time, then you want to play shape for another bank. But if you have a bank that's maybe 50-50, maybe less, you, you don't want to be playing a 40% bank and leave an 80% bank. That's, you don't have to. You may not consciously think about the percentages every shot, but that's the gist of the more standard strategy that good players tend to play. Now, those percentages, they're not fixed. They change depending on how you feel in that moment. So it's everybody's a little different. And if you're shooting really good and everything is going, then why worry about whether it's a 50 or a 70% bank? But if maybe not everything is going in, that's when it's time. Like, okay, what am I leaving if I'm missing the bank? So
Yeah, like the 80% shot in the first rack may not be the 80% shot in the third rack.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have to decide. How did you get into banks?
The main reason is because where I live down south of here, there are not very many 9-footers. It's all bar tables. And I think that 9-ball on the bar table gets old a little fast, especially if you are a player that likes a little more to it, So a little more strategy. 8-ball is a good game, but I personally enjoy bank pool more.
That's funny because that sort of sentiment actually got me into snooker.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, yeah, because it's playing on 9-footers, 9-ball. We started making up games, and then it just became needed more. So fell in love with snooker. But banks, this is my first real exposure to it. There's not a lot of banks played here, and it's amazing. I love it. I love this weekend masterclass in banks pool.
Yeah, I don't pretend to be a great banks player, but I played the game decently, and I'm still trying to improve at it. And every time I play a tournament, I learn something new. And it's a game that's really popular in the south of the United States, not so much here, but that's been growing every time there are some new people playing some of these bank tournaments I throw, and a lot of people enjoy it, regardless of what their skill level is. So, and in fact, there are some players saying the mid 500 Fargos, they really enjoy banks and play it really well. Look at who's playing the point match with Daniel today is Tony Costanzo. His Fargo is 550. How often do you see a 550 Fargo player playing the point match in an open tournament, right? And that tells you something, is that
it's an equalizer. Yeah, that's a very good point.
I'd say that it's just because of his style of play, he's really good at going subconscious and just seeing the shot and trusting himself. You never see Tony measure a thing, right?
Oh,
and
no.
He plays banks really, really well. He's not easy to beat.
Did he scratch that one?
Yeah, looks like I just scratched. So.
It's unfortunate there. So speaking of your performance here in the tournament, how do you like your chances? Loaded question.
Well, I finished seventh, eighth. I could have done better.
Oh, you're out.
I'm out.
You're
Yes.
out. Oh, cool,
Zach
cool, cool.
played. I started well with him. I went up 2-0, and then he played really good, and he beat me. So I give that to Zach because he's done some really good work on his game, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, that was the last match of the day yesterday. Yeah, that was a nice match.
Yeah.
You got him 2-0, and then
and then he came back. I hadn't slept good on Friday night, so I was tired all day, and eventually caught up with me. But he played really well those last three games, so I don't want to take anything away from his very good performance. I tried to play a tighter game, but I just lost my cubo several times and left some high percentage banks, and he nailed them. So that's how it goes. And it is a game that it's a little bit on an equalizer in that a player that gets in a groove and runs 3 or 4 banks can beat pretty much anybody. So it's, but of course, the stronger players are always favored to win no matter what the game is. But it gets some other players excited to play too. When any rotation tournament, often you can tell who the top 4 are going to be before the first break is even shot, just by looking at the field. And Banks is not really that way, and I actually really like that about it. So,
Triple G in the chat says, "Poor Ed. Does he know he can make one without scratching?" How you doing there, Triple G? David Burney is asking about the BC Open qualifiers here at Ox. Info coming out soon there. James got 1 point there. Looks like this rack is James and Ed kind of hoping the other person makes a mistake. It's a difficult table now. How do you get out of this mess?
Well, you see, like what Ed did there, for example, he played this bank and now he put the ball in the side rail, so he's opening up a high percentage bank for a future shot, and the 7 ball kind of covers up the side pocket, so I think James is going 2 rail here. But that's a little bit, when the balls are not positioned where they can make, and is to position them where it can be made later. Like now Ed has a straight back, and if he knocks it down, then he has a high percentage shot on the 6 ball as well. So let's see if he tries to play shape for a 6 ball, or if he's going to play the cue ball. And it looks like he went for the make, but he wasn't really trying to leave shape. So now there is a straight back, maybe on the 1, unless the 8 hinders it.
Yeah, 1 ball looks okay.
Yeah. Any chance you could double the screen so I can see here? So was he fun to watch Bankful, or was he?
No, absolutely. No, I'm always curious about different disciplines because you can always learn something, and this seems like a sport that can teach you a lot. Because personally, I have a lot of weaknesses in my game. Let's start there. But one of my main weaknesses in pool is banking. Where in the past, when I was younger with better eyes, I could see the banks and I wouldn't worry about them. But then that just went away and it atrophied after playing snooker for so long. And now I've been last year trying to get better at my banks, which I have been. So not ready to join a banks tournament because I don't understand the fundamental rules of it. So, but yeah, it's just been amazing to watch. No, definitely not boring. Oh, trying to thread that in.
Well, now Ed has a few really good shots here. He has a straight back on the 8-ball, and which is these are the bread and butter straight backs for one pocket player. And he has a couple of cross corners. We'll see. Ed does trying to play the game more conservatively. He's always thinking about what he's leaving in case he misses the shot, just like you would in one pocket. He is taking the straight back on the 8-ball, and if he knocks this down, it looks like he's going to have a really good cross side.
Wow.
There you go. And now he has a real high percentage cross side on the 6-ball, and potentially he can play shape for another cross side on the is it a 2-ball? Yeah. Or yeah. He went long with that cross side, unfortunately.
One thing we did learn, Zach and I, is that your standard pool overlay for the scoreboard doesn't accommodate banks very well. So for those of you watching that didn't watch yesterday, the parentheses next to the name is the frame count or the rack count, and then the numbers in the color are the ball counts. So it's 1-to-1 on the ball count. Race to 3. Ed has 1 rack. To James is 0.
Yeah, and James is struggling a little bit, looks like. So I think that Ed has as good as percentages to beat him today, and as they'll be. So always better to play the monsters before they warm up.
Yeah, you know. And what I've noticed yesterday, and I'm not sure if this is common or unique to yesterday, but there's always going to be a chance to come back. Even if you're down 0-2,
yeah,
there will be openings.
Oh yeah, they're never out of the game playing banks. If the balls are open and you go on a good run, you can be down 4-0 in the ball count and still win the game in one inning. That's and we see it all the time in banks. So where races go 2-0 and there is a comeback, and it's you're never really out of the game.
Are there ever any break and run prizes? $50 for a break and run.
I haven't done anything like that yet, but it's an idea. I'm a little bit more of a purist when it comes to games in that, like, there is a strategy to it. Like, it's not all about breaking or running on who runs the most, or,
like a high break in snooker, or
because sometimes the layouts are just not good for running out, and you should be playing more of a moving strategy game, right?
Yeah,
so,
it could change the tournament.
So, well, he left another really good straight back for Ed. So let's see. Right now the score is 3-1. So, and just like one pocket in banks, when you're down on the ball count, you have to make something happen. You don't want to get in this 1-1 bank situation. You're trying to go on a run because you need to catch up on the score. And if you just go 1-for-1, it's tough to come back and win a game when you are down in the score. But when you are ahead of the score, now you typically play a little bit more conservative, and you're okay just making one bank at a time if you only need 2 to win the game versus your opponent needing 4. But Ed, classic style, is he plays conservative because he comes from the one pocket school of thought. We see the rotation players like James, they do tend to play the game more aggressive and not worry too much or as much about what they're leaving. So see that played a good cue ball there, didn't leave anything easy. In fact, James is going to also play safe, looks like. Oh, he might have missed the ball altogether. Oh boy.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah, and he left a good cross corner. and the cross corner is going to lead shape to another cross corner on the 6 ball.
Potential.
Knock this down.
Yeah, it's a potential change of momentum. Well, that might be wide. Yeah, I think they're trying to compensate for yesterday's short banks.
Yeah.
So slowing it down a bit. Getting a little wide this morning.
Yeah, James knocked this down, so now he's going to have a really good cross corner on the 4 ball. That's going to probably lead to another cross. It's going to have a cross side on the 4 ball. That's going to lead to a cross corner or a cross side. Looks like he still has the 2 ball cross side. So it's back to 3. He came just a little bit long with that one. So we're back where we started before that scratch. Oh no, looks like James is at 4 now. Yeah, that looked like a little bit of a shot out of frustration for Ed for missing that. It's a bread and butter cross corner for a 1 pocket player. So we all get frustrated at times. See, now James put that ball in play by knocking it down. There is different ways of thinking when it comes when you only need 1 ball to win the game and there is balls in the pocket which will be out of play because they can't be banked anywhere. Some players think, well, you don't want to ever knock those balls down and put them in play because that gives your opponent the opportunity to end on a good run and win the game in 1 inning. While other players think, well, it's tougher to defend against the ball when everything is in play than when only a couple of balls are in play. So there's different ways of thinking about that and different merits.
Javier in the YouTube chat says, yeah, I tend to play both styles when it comes to bank pool. For me, it just depends on the table, how it plays. Some tables I might bank with a firm stroke, and other tables I might slow roll everything. Yeah. Physics is unmoving. We are all prisoners of physics. Oh.
Well, this is a good start because that cross side leads back down back to the top rail and back down for another bank. So, Ed can come back here. Let's see. He tried to shorten it. I feel like he had to pass that ball to make it. We'll do more like a passover bank. This is going to be a little bit short. Let's see. He might be able to cross this ball to the opposite corner. And avoid the double kiss, maybe with just a touch of left English. Let's see.
It's a great shot with the bridge. Get in.
Nice. Now he'll probably play a 2-railer on the 7 ball, or he might just play safe if he's not laying right. No, he's playing the straight back on the 7 ball. This will play, but will also probably leave something, so he's kind of going all out on this make. He went all out and he lost that gamble, so now James is going to have a really good chance here.
Yeah, 7's not blocking anything.
He went long with this one, so the tables are playing a little bit longer than yesterday. It's a different day and it's a different table. That's also what interesting about banks is that there is quite a bit of adapting you have to do on conditions, and sometimes the conditions change even within the same playing session. So, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we had Venom come here and give a coaching clinic, and nice job there by Ed, bringing it 4-4 again.
And he left a good straight back, so...
Well, Venom was saying that these tables are on concrete, so they're going to be playing as firm as can be, versus tables that are on like a second level, or tables that are on carpet. And then, of course, he's talking about humidity. We have an HVAC system that draws the humidity out of the air. There's just a ton of physics involved with banks. Oh, so what do you do here?
I think all you can do is roll that ball and try to stay in and stay on the rail, and just try to leave as hard of a shot as possible, which is what he's doing. But he came quite far from the rail. He was trying to stay on the end rail, so he left a straight back here. James will just fire this. The more conservative players will just roll this. Yeah. The more conservative player will roll this bank to the same pockets where they're standing at, because that's a much safer way to play the bank if you happen not to make it. But if you're really confident that you're going to make that straight back, then you will shoot it the same way that James did.
All right, we'll take a quick break and be back in just a moment. Thank you for watching, everybody.
James is trying to cross this ball. That always looked like he was going short, but maybe. Well, he didn't leave much. He left a couple of difficult straight backs, but I don't think Ed will take him on because they too low of a percentage and will likely leave on much easier cross side. So I think Ed is probably looking for a defensive shot here. Okay, thinks he can bank the 6-ball past the 3-ball into the corner. He would have to twist it a little bit, either with a slow roll or with some English. Oh, he over twisted it, so he twisted it more than looked like he could, but it looks like he may have gotten away with something, because he did not. All those balls are sitting in the middle of the table, but they're kind of in each other's way. So maybe the 8-ball goes between the 7 and the 4. It did, but not quite to the pocket. So this is a really good chance, because yes, this passover bank on the 1-ball, that will definitely lead to some. It will definitely lead to a shot. So let's see if he can knock this down. okay. He played a little bit slow to lead to anything else, so it looks like he was happy with just taking the one. Looks like he'll probably be playing a defensive shot here.
This is definitely the angle you want if you're playing banks. You want to be this tall.
Looks like he might be going 3 rails at his 9 ball to the pocket where he's standing. No, cross side. Oh, really nice shot.
Wow.
Really nice shot from Matt there. And just like that, he's well in this game. So, well, nothing too easy here. Let's see. So he's playing a straight back on the 8 ball. He has to be careful not to leave a cross side here. The 7 ball might be blocking a cross side if he can back the 2 ball to where he's standing. Oh boy. These scratches are killing Ed. He's made way more balls than he needed to win the games, and yet
Triple G's comment is prophetic.
yeah. Yeah, so the ball count will go back to 1-0. James has ball in hand, and you expect him to knock down something. Maybe the straight back on the. Oh, well, it looks like the 2 ball passes cross side. Yeah, it passes, and it will probably lead to a cross corner or. Yeah, let's see.
And like that, it's tied up.
James is looking to see if this 4 ball passes the 7 in for a cross side. Oh. Oh no, he will be attacking the 4 cross corner between the 8 and the 3. Oh well, Ed couldn't ask for a better shot than this. So now with the 9 ball cross side, these are shots that really you should practice if playing bank pool, because they come up all the time with the balls on the spot. So it should be almost an automatic shot whenever there is a ball you're banking off the spot. Oh boy, I might have jinxed him.
Commentators have
Yeah.
no power over players. No, we don't believe in commentator curse here. Although it's fun to play with. Looks like James is attacking across corner. Oh, Double
I'd
kiss.
say both players are struggling a little bit. So whoever can get out of the mental struggle first will probably win this match. Seems like they're both a little bit frustrated. You can tell in their stroke that they're a little bit frustrated.
I think he's looking at the 9 there.
Looking at the 9, but have to twist it because otherwise you won't be able to get a clean hit. If you carry him off T8, it wouldn't count. Yeah, so this you expect James to get at least 2 out of this inning, the 6 ball and the 8 ball. But I guess this is not the day to expect anything because both players are struggling. It happens playing banks. Sometimes there is just a struggle, and the banks that should be high percentage that get missed. see.
Ed keeps the cue ball on the table.
Oh boy. I think Ed is trying to shoot his way out of the mental struggle. He's just swinging without, just trying not to overthink things. Normally he plays more of a slower. He's not a slow player by any means, but but he typically thinks more about the shot. I think he's trying to just shoot himself into a groove because he's struggling a little bit.
Trying to self-inspire.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cross bank here.
I think he's shooting a straight back, so he'll have to cut this ball pretty thin. Well, nice. He did great. And he left himself a really nice cross corner on the 8 ball.
Get out.
Wee. and he's to the 5. Okay, so now we're 4. So, yeah, there's 3 on the table at the end. 6 balls. Looks like he's going for 3 rounds on the side. He'll have to shorten this one with English. Now, don't know if this ball banks cross corner. He'll probably have to go 3 rails in the side in this ball. Oh, he was trying to shorten it. Let's see. Yeah, it didn't look like that ball was playable in the corner. It looked like he had to go in the side if he wanted to attack it.
Javier in the YouTube chat says that's another topic that doesn't really get discussed much. Your banking style can also get you in trouble when it comes to scratching a lot. This seems to be the case with Ed Hobbs. I think he's referring to the speed that he hits it.
Yeah.
Cue ball kind of gets away from him.
I don't know that that's really Ed's style. It's more like right now he's frustrated, so he's trying to shoot his way out of the struggle. But that's not really how he normally plays the game. I wouldn't say. I play that quite a bit, and I'd say when you see him like this, that's your lucky day.
Yeah.
That's not his. When he's playing, when he's feeling good and playing well, this is not the way he carries his mind in the game. But he can be dangerous when he's frustrated. So. So let's see, he's going 3 rails in the side, and with this one, should just a little bit long and almost a scratch. Looks like he left at least a straight back as a return.
Yeah, it quickly gets down and calls his left corner. Right corner.
Just long.
Get out.
Yeah, he is. I think Ed could benefit from taking a break, slowing down a little bit, and just recollect himself. Of course.
Boom. All right, folks, that is another win there for James. Makes it 2 in a row. We'll be right back. We are here in frame 4, or rack 4. What's the strategy here on the break?
As typically 9-ball banks, people break it pretty open and then see what's a good starter shot. I like to just pick the highest percentage shot as a starter shot when there are lots of options on the table. Whichever shot I'm most likely to make, that's the shot I'll pick. Because you definitely don't want to miss your starter shot and then leave a bunch of options for your opponent. It's really hard to defend when there are a lot of balls on the table that are open. So looks like James is getting started here with a nice couple of banks cross side, and then here he'll probably cross the 5-ball into the bottom right, no, top right, sorry. He left a really nice straight back here. If yeah, this straight back will just be a center ball hit. If Ed can knock it down, we'll see. He is attacking it.
Nice.
Oh, you rattled it.
Oh my goodness. That looked dead
yeah,
end.
that straight back led to those cross sides, and you'll expect James to cash in on them. Yeah, Ed is attacking the cross side here. Overcut it just a little bit.
Just a bit.
Yeah, he's frustrated. He's missed quite a few opportunities that a good player like him would normally knock down, and that's always frustrating.
It's a small window here for James. I think he got it. Beautiful.
Yeah. I think James' confidence has increased, and it's really tough to contain your emotions, but it's typically a good idea to not show that you are frustrated or struggling, because that always gives your opponent more confidence. There is a little bit of a psychological battle in pool too, to where there you go. Really nice straight back there from Ed. He has another one here on the 6-ball.
How you doing there, Chad, in the YouTube chat? Good morning to everybody. All right, we are back with the players taking a short break.
Yeah, looks like
Nature
James.
calls.
Yeah, looks like James just played the defensive shot there. Figured Ed has to be careful here because I mean he could attack his three ball, but it will probably lead to something if he doesn't knock it down. He played his cue ball back to where he was, which was, he at least has left James a lot of distance. James does have a straight back on the three ball. He might not elect to shoot it because he has a 3-1 ball lead and he might want to protect his lead. So it looks like he might just be knocking down the... Yeah, so... Just let it... Now Ed will attack this three ball. And it's just short. Well, he left a cross corner on the 8, but it's not a simple shot, so... There is a straight back on the 2. Or there is a cross on the Apo. Looks like you have to do something with the cubo to get it out of the way, or maybe just play the right speed. Yeah. He avoided the double kiss, but he sacrificed the bank and he lost the cubo. So now Ed going back down to 0 and leaves James ball in hand. James might shoot the spot shot on the 9 ball. Or he might try and shorten this 3 ball to where he's standing, shooting the spot shot.
Terry Anderson in the YouTube chat saying hello from Yakima. Welcome to the stream. How's Yakima treating you? And who you rooting for in this match? Marcello is heading out to the floor, getting some TD work done, and he should return very soon. Love having him in the chat. Obviously has a passion for this game. What a shot there by James. So when he comes back, when Marcello comes back, we will get right back on the mic. Hope you're enjoying this very entertaining match between Ed and James. We'll see you in a bit. Terry Anderson in the chat is saying he's rooting for the underdog and wishes he was playing. Yeah, we all like the underdog. I'm not sure who that is here. I think currently the underdog is Ebb, only because of the score. And then James is saying he's not. I'm sorry. Javier is saying he's not picking on James, just saying that the style where you let the cue ball loose is dangerous when it comes to scratching. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure that anyone thought you were critiquing or picking on James, but just merely commenting on the style of play. Yeah, I agree. Let the cue ball loose. I mean, it happens to the best of us always, but it is a dangerous thing to do with any cue sport. Yeah, Triple G, it's very true, man. And no matter who you are, nice shot there. No matter who you are, if you're scratching or fouling, yeah, you're gonna have to do extra work there. James, speaking of extra work, is putting the pressure here on Ed, taking a. That's it. Hold on, let me double check everything. That should be done. Yeah. Good job there, James. All right, let's see. Terry Anderson in the YouTube chat, just kind of cleaning these up, said Ed always. Well, stick around for the remainder of this tournament. See who comes out on top. We still have a few more money matches to play. Championship Sunday here at Ox Billiards. Zach is in the house with a cup of something. Is that vodka? It's not allowed in here, man. LCB, I know you're listening. All right, we'll be back with hopefully a brand new crew of people that know banks better. All right, guys, we'll see you in a bit. Coming up next, we got Tommy Aiken versus Zach Ross. Another great matchup. All right, here we go. First rack. And this Zach v. Tommy match. No shade to Zach, but he's an underdog in this matchup. Tell me in the chat who you got in this match. Let me know who you think is going to win and what the final score might be.
Here's his number. Can't see it.
Crazy good shot there by Tommy. We have a few chats in the YouTubes. Terry Anderson is saying that he never sees 3 rails in the side off the top rail. Yeah, we've seen a couple of those attempts. Maybe one has fallen that I've noticed on the TV table. Tough shot. Beautiful when it goes in. And then Raswick says, I want Zach to win, but Tommy's one pocket skills are just going to shine through. Tommy has played for big money with some of the greats in the Northwest. And then Danger Brow says, let's go, Zach. 3-2. Wink, wink. I think Tommy is wily. But I think if Zach keeps his head, make a game of it and take advantage of the cold spots, we have seen Tom get into cold spots. At least Daniel put him in some ice every once in a while, but that's Daniel. And you're going to have to play that type of game, or at least Zach is going to have to play that type of game to beat Tom. This is why you play, though, right? This is why you enter these tournaments. Play up against people like Tom Aiken in a pressure situation where it actually means something, so it's not just playing around. So, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch, you guys. Thanks for all your comments in the chat, and thanks for tuning in.
get through. Yeah. Just gotta figure out directions to Capitol Hill Light Rail Station.
It's right there. Just take a right to Broadway. It's like a few blocks down.
Yeah.
Just past the park that's there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yes, only a quarter mile later.
Thanks for that.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You get all those numbers?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, it went that way. I mean,
That's my fault.
And we are back with Marcello. Done with his TD duties for now. Back in the booth.
yeah. Fortunately, there is only a couple of players here, so it's not too complicated. So Zach was hitting his straight backs really good yesterday. So let's see if he can repeat today how bad he was beating me with these. Not yet. Not yet. I know as a commentator I'm supposed to be unbiased, but I always root for the underdog.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, honestly. As long as you call the game evenly, I believe.
Yeah,
It's hard to root. For me personally, it's hard to root for either one of these players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Zach, we obviously sponsor as a Q Sports commentator.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy is a long-time member.
Mm-hmm.
Love having conversations with
Yeah,
him.
I've known Tony a very long time because the first pool room I hung out with in this area was Golden Fleece, and he used to come there all the time to play one pocket. One pocket is his best game. I'm not sure if he still plays it a lot. I don't know how many players there are that play one pocket here. Maybe.
Was this the Lake City?
The first one was in Kenmore.
Kenmore.
So I've known Tommy probably since 2009.
Get in.
Yeah, he left a few shots for Tommy here. There is a cross side on the 5. It looks like he prefers to shoot the straight back on the 3. Probably because he has just better cueing and can follow through with his stroke. Or is he going 2 rails with this? Looks like he's going 2 rails. And shot that right in the heart.
Oh,
wow. I thought for sure that ball was dropping.
it's funny. After the match between Tommy and Daniel yesterday, Tommy was just frustrated with that shot exactly, how it happened 3 times in a row where you got the object ball on the shelf.
Yeah. See, like I was telling Yeah, this one goes. I was telling Zach how when Tommy's gonna play some traps on you. He's a one pocket player. Like just because there is a shot doesn't always mean you have to take the shot, especially if it's a lower percentage. Because now he played a lower percentage shot and played shape for two high percentage shots. See how it is like. If you nail it, then that's great. But otherwise, taking those shots often helps your opponent more than it helps you. Yeah, that was definitely a trap. Unfortunately, Zach fell in the trap. We all do when we first started. It's the same thing with one pocket. It's when you're learning the game, you always fall in the traps, and then eventually you start recognizing the traps. And maybe you'll fall in the trap anyways, but at least you're first able to say it's a trap.
This trap doesn't apply to me.
It's a trap. I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna get the cheese and not get snapped.
Yeah. Well, is that aggressive or stubborn play?
I think it's just his first banks tournament, and I don't know how many times Zach has played bank pools with knowledgeable players. You know, I don't.
No shade against.
Yeah.
Zach.
So.
No, it goes in at the end of your turn, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So it stays down.
It's always at the end of the inning the balls drop. Maybe
he's excited here about this 8, which is good.
I don't know if he goes cross side from this. Yeah, it definitely goes. This is a good shot. Let's go, Zach.
Yeah. Take a breath. Always breathe. These are the shots you can't miss against Tom.
Oh boy. Well,
it's okay.
At least he didn't leave anything. Now I expect Tommy to just drop this 3-ball because it will tie up. If he shoots, he's probably gonna bring the cube back to the rail where he's at to not leave a cross side on the 8-ball. Let's see what he's doing here.
So we got a question in the chat. Danger Brow is asking that he's not that familiar with the banks. Are kick banks allowed or jump banks?
You can only jump with the full queue. It's like one pocket. You have one playing queue, and that's what you get. There are no kicks playing heads-up banks. There are 3 or more real kicks in playing ring games, but ring games are different because there's no defense allowed. But leaving balls in the pockets and out of play is a core part of bank strategy, to where if you're ahead in the score, you may want balls to be hung up and not bankable so that the opponent cannot beat you in one inning.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense. So if you need
Absolutely.
one ball and your opponent needs 3 balls, you might want to have 2 of those balls tied up and just play that one ball. There is different ways to think about this, but if a ball is not playable with a bank shot, that means it's what I want to say out of play, meaning it cannot be scored right now, will have first to be moved, and that's part of the bank strategy. Bank combos are also not allowed. Clean banks only.
Yeah, I've played banks in ring games where if you can either bank or through 3-rail kick.
Yeah.
But that's what you're talking about is
Yeah.
no safety plays.
Yeah, if there is no safety play, then there is a different set of rules.
Yeah, it's a really good point as far as kicking bank kicks into like that 3-ball, right?
Yeah.
But what you're saying is that the strategy comes out when you cannot do that, and that's interesting to me. It's a great explanation.
Yeah, banks is really a cousin of one pocket. They're related games, so a lot of the same things apply as far as putting balls out of play. When when one pocket, if you need 2 balls and your opponent needs 6, typically what players start to do is they try to bring four of those balls up table and near the corner pockets to where they're not playable, so that it's a way to protect your lead, essentially. Because if all the balls are out in the open, the opponent can score multiple in one inning. But then there is also stuff like Tommy knows that he's probably going to move quite a bit better than Zach, so he may be playing balls out of play because he's playing his advantage. His advantage is the moving game, or at least is, not to say that he might not have an advantage in shooting as well, but Tommy is a smart player. He plays his opponent. The idea that you play the table and not the opponent only counts if you break and run the rack, and otherwise you're playing your opponent, whether you want to admit it or not. So and you're especially playing your opponent in games like bank pool and one pocket, where you're trading who's at the table every other shot. So I think Zach may just want to drop the 3-ball and just leave the cue ball there, bring the 3-ball in play, and just leave Tommy really tough. That's a good shot, because now Tommy, he can go all aggressive and bank this ball, but he will have to bring the cue ball back above the, I believe is the 2-ball. Because if he leaves the cue ball below that ball, then the ball is bankable cross side. So it looks like he's going for a straight back, and yeah, this might open something up. Not quite. I think he got away with something there. They also could have moved a little bit more favorably. This 2-ball does bank cross side. It is a really thin hit. This is less than a quarter ball hit.
Microbrew in the YouTube chat says, from what I saw yesterday, crushing the rack to make 2+ is best, because after your turn, those come up and tie up things in the middle.
Yeah. It's always good to make balls on the break, no matter what the game is, but sometimes it just doesn't play out that way enough. What banks the standard is a triangle rack, no template, because it's supposed to be a little bit more of a moving game, a little bit like one pocket, to where if a player just wanted to thin off the rack and just get a rail, that's a legal break. You don't have to get 4 balls on the break. Now, playing 9-ball racks or banks is not something that we see very often. Most players opt for the aggressive break. But you could just play a defensive break and just try not to leave a shot and play from there and open the balls up at time. And that's typically the full version of bank with full rack. That will be a more common break, or like straight pool, where and the break you're not really trying to make anything. You just thin off the rack and play safe. Now with full rack banks, that's not just that's a game that's designed to be more aggressive and also more of the tournament style. Like you want to roughly know how long the match is going to take. Those full rack bank games, they can take a very long time.
Terry Anderson is saying in the chat, hardest person to beat is yourself. It's very true there, Terry.
Well, I think he's left either a thin cross corner or a straight back with Zach. The straight back plays really nice with just top spin and just go around the rail. He hit it just a little bit too full. If he cut the ball a little more, that was twisting nicely towards that corner. Tommy may elect to attack the cross side here. These are some of the shots they play in bank pool. They come up all the time. So if you play bank pool, you definitely want to always practice shooting balls on the spot at different angles. And he's just come a little bit short. This might leave something. He's left a cross corner. And looks like cue ball is. This is not a double kiss. He shot a little bit too high. He's not leaving any gimmies here. Tommy will have to work on a shot. I think he'll probably elect to play this 4-ball straight back to the top left. That's what he's doing. He may be looking to draw the cue ball to the top rail in case he doesn't knock it down. And that's what he's doing. So he played a little bit of a two-way there. He took on the hard bank, but played a safe cue ball. Like the standard strategy is that if your bank is high percentage, you may play shape for another bank. But if your bank is not high percentage, then you play a safe cue ball to not leave any easy options for your opponent. Zach did leave a 9 cross-side here. It isn't easy. It's a thin hit, but I think Tommy will elect to attack it. He's measuring it up right now. I need to use a little bit of spin to twist this towards the pocket. He actually twisted it too much. Now Zach has a 2-railer. Now I don't know how familiar he is with his one pocket shots. Now looks like, yeah, just shows a little bit of inexperience, which is fine. The shot there was definitely to 2-rail the one towards the top right corner. But you know, if you play bank put or one pocket, eventually you'll learn those shots. You see your opponent's doing them on you. But if it's your first banks tournament, it just doesn't look obvious to a player that's just made to use playing rotation. So Tommy is gonna cross this 9. This is a thin hit. Looks like he's using some left English to get out of the double kiss. And he did. He's left some shots here. He's left a straight back on the 9, but you'd have to twist it a little bit with the left ball and come 2 rails out of the corner. Let's see. He's attacking it. So, oh, he was going maybe 2 rails. Yeah. Tommy will definitely attack this this cross corner.
Where do you want the cue ball here?
I think he's probably just stopping it there and going for the 2-rail on the one or the straight back. Oh, he just missed it. Well, he left the straight back for Zach, and so if Zach wants to be real aggressive, he can play the straight back with speed and play shape on the 4-ball. But he's probably just going for the make and take what he gets next.
He's been hitting these straight. This one looks like it's going straight in.
Nice speed. He played the right
beautiful
speed to where even if you don't hit the bank perfect, it will still drop. And now it's on the hill and needing 1.
Oh, what did he do? What did he do?
Um,
Still in good shape, though. I mean, that 8 being on the spot is not ideal.
Wait, so he has... Yeah. I'd say that this is still a wide open game just because the position of all the balls, they're all bankable. So Tommy will definitely attack this cross side on the 9 ball and play shape for the 8. Oh, looks like he's crossing the 8 instead, huh? Let's see. No, he is attacking the 9 ball, yeah. In the last match, both players had a hard time judging this. Let's see how Tommy does. I think he's a little bit worried about what it's in his back in his mind that Zach is on 4 balls, and if he leaves a good bank, Zach may knock it down. So I can tell that Tommy's a little bit on the fence about going all out for the make, and or maybe play something a little more conservative and not leave a return. So it looks like he's electing to attack the 8 ball instead. Yeah, still between those. Still between those.
Is there a bit of gamesmanship here, or do you think that he's really betwixt between shots?
I think the 8 ball, he probably knows the standard aim because it's a spot shot. While with the 9 ball, he has to judge it, and that's why he's thinking about it. Yeah, that was a case of think long, think wrong. Feel like if Tommy had just taken the shot, his confidence in the shot decreased as he thought about it. Now Zach is attacking this cross side, just long on him. Well, he left a pretty difficult straight back. I mean, these have been a little bit tough to judge. The speed at which you hit this makes a big difference in the rebound angle. Let's see. Tommy hit that just perfect, and he played a safe cue ball. So now he's probably thinning this cross corner to the top right. So Zach here could play this 8 ball cross corner, but really playing his cue ball. He wants that cue ball to come back, ideally very, very close to the foot rail to not leave an easy return. And he did pretty good.
In the YouTube chat, 57 Boomer is asking about the quarters on the table. Those are
to keep the ball count and the game count. So there's 2 sets. One set of quarters is for the game count. One set is for the ball count.
Yeah, and the ball count on the scoreboard are the ones in the color. So the 4 to 3 are the ball count, and then the frame or the rack scores are in parentheses next to the name. This is the first rack, so right now the rack score is 0-0. Thanks for the question, though. I'm sure there's other people in the chat that were wondering the same thing.
So Zach has a really good bank here to knock this first game down. I played it a little bit too timid. A little bit too timid.
Forget that shot, right? You got to let that go.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the kind of shot that you want to shoot with authority, and also this cue ball would have been safer with more speed. Instead, he's letting Tommy back in this game. But Tommy didn't leave himself anything easy here. First of all, that ball you have to reach it not at a little bit of an awkward position. But it looks like he's just playing safe. Yeah.
Whoa, easy there.
Yeah. So here Zach can just pocket this ball and stay right there. That's a little bit too... The cue ball is too open. So now it's really powerful in bank if you can prevent your opponent from seeing the bottom of the cue ball. Because whenever shooting a bank with top spin, it's very speed dependent on what the rebound angle will do. Because if you at a certain speed, you'll actually put a little slide or draw on the object ball, which will shorten the bank. While if you roll it, the bank will actually open up. So most players elect not to use top when just shooting standard banks because it's less. It's very speed dependent on what's gonna do. But by leaving the wall cue ball, Tommy can cue this however he wants. See, we saw earlier James was just firing this on the top right. Tommy is a one pocket player. He plays a more conservative style. So you see that he elects to cut bank to the same corner where he's standing, and it's a much safer shot because he doesn't leave anything easy in case you miss it, as he did. Yeah, and looks like Zach fell in the trap again, unfortunately. And Tommy now has a nice straight back on the one ball. He might elect to roll this in case he doesn't knock it down and bring the cue ball down to the bottom rail, and that's what he's doing. He played that the conservative way. And he knocks it down, so Tommy takes game one. Yeah, Zach is probably kicking himself for that nice cross corner that he had to close this game out, where he was just a little bit tentative with the stroke. He let up on the stroke, and that's what caused the object ball to go long and miss.
Yeah, bitter and sweet, right? I mean, he's got to feel good about how he played, and it took him to the limit, but hopefully he gets confidence enough to maybe win the next one. You're watching Ox Billiards Banks Tournament. Thank you, Marcello, for putting this on. It's great to have you here as a tournament director and competitor as well. And then obviously back in the comms booth, you're a man of many talents.
I'm glad to be here. It was a really fun tournament, and it's nice to show pool players that there is more games than 8-ball, 9-ball, and 10-ball.
What? Yeah, we need a 14-1 tournament.
I like playing 14-1. It's a good practice game. I just don't know that it's the best spectator.
No, it's not.
And I don't know how many people will want to watch a 14-1 stream.
It's okay. It's all right. For those two players, I would do it. For those two viewers. But yeah, you're right. It's a nice warm-up game.
It's a good practice game because it will help other games too. It will help your one puck and it will help your 8-ball with all the breakouts and how balls interact when you run into them, and it will teach you the right speed for your breakouts. Because often when you go for a breakout, even playing 9-ball or 10-ball, you just smash into it as hard as you can, only to find out that you tie up something else in the process.
Right.
There is a certain speed for the breakouts that works and is neither super soft nor super hard. So that straight pool really teaches you that how to break balls out. But I don't know, as a tournament, it's a tough sell. I don't know that I will ever myself want to run a straight pool tournament. Just you'll have no idea how long matches will take, and no one will want to watch it, and I don't know.
Microbrew in the YouTube chat is giving you props. Tournament was great. Minimal downtime between matches. Good vibes from all players. Really enjoyed it and ready for the next one. 57 Boomer saying in the chat, I love watching 14-1 straight pool. No, I do too. But I think Marcello has a point there. But we can find somebody to run it. I won't run it, but
Yeah.
I don't have a week to run a
I
tournament.
I love one pocket though. I will run a one pocket tournament now. That's also a game that not very many people like watching. I think how fun it is to watch one pocket really depends on the style of players. Some players are really fun to watch playing one pocket, and others play a lot more conservative, and there is a lot of tapping balls and just staying safe. And I think that frustrates some viewers.
Well, yeah, I mean that's why 1976 was when 9-ball was invented, and by 1980, 14-1 was pretty much dead. 9-ball took over.
Yeah, even at a professional level, I think there are only 2 straight 14-1 events a year. There are a few more bank pool events, but not many. There are none outside the U.S. But there is Derby City, and then there is the U.S. Open bank pool at Graves right after the Las Vegas CSI Expo. And then there are a few other events here and there. Derby City is definitely the most frequented by professional players.
Boom. Good shot there by Zach.
That was a really nice stroke on that straight back. Zach tortured me with those straight backs yesterday.
Yeah, he was ready to go that match. You could feel the energy.
There is a nice cross corner here on the 4. He's seeing, but he's attacking the 1 ball, but he has to be careful while he leaves. Oh, nice shot there. And now he has a cross side on the 7 or a cross corner. He's good attacking the cross corner. Just short. And he left cross side on the 7. Although it's the angle is a little bit funny, might be a little bit of a kiss. So Tommy might have to either use speed or English to shorten this up and get a cue ball, not in the path of the rebounding object ball.
Tommy's on 1.
Let's see. One,
I don't believe he's on 1. I
no,
think
he's
Tommy's
only
on 0.
Tommy's on 0. There is 7 balls on the table and 2 balls down. So
Might want to go in form.
Maybe these guys know. You guys know?
yeah, he got 0.
I got 0. Okay.
He made 2 banks. There is 7 on the table. Yeah.
57 Boomer, or I forget who was asking about the quarters, but main function of the quarters was illustrated right there.
Yeah. So now Tommy has a bread and butter cross corner for a 1 pocket player. And now he has a cross corner on the 4 ball. Tommy can get out here. This might hang up. And he's hung up.
Just a touch wide.
Touch wide, and he left two good shots for Zach. I like the two ball myself, and I used top spin. This is almost exactly a half ball hit. On this table, they bank a little short, so we might just need a touch of less spin. He hit that really nicely.
Yeah, well done.
So
there.
like a quick tip is that whenever the object ball is on that first diamond and the cue ball is just straight across it on that line, that's a half ball hit is an automatic make in the corner on pretty much all tables.
Maybe thinking too much maybe about the cue ball there. Not too sure. But
Yeah. He overamped that a little bit. So it looks like Tommy is attacking this straight back on the bottom left.
what a shot.
And he's knocked it down. And his cue ball was in a good spot too in case he missed it. Notice how he didn't leave it down to cross the four. Tommy is a very savvy mover. So the score is 3-3. Zach probably just wants to push the. What he did, tie up those two balls, not leave any bank. Now he getting this moving battle. Tommy's probably just making the four and hooking him behind the 8 ball. Right, so. Now Zach has to be careful because the 5 ball is open, but there is no good bank. So here is where, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, he left a return straight back. So Tommy won that moving battle.
He's very wily.
Yeah, I'd say that Tommy got exactly the shot he was looking for with that moving battle. So he was ready to shoot it as soon as he played that safety. So let's see. Well, he shot this one a little long. So Zach still has an opportunity here. He wants to twist this 5 ball back to the bottom left. I like to use a little bit of draw on the cue ball to draw it back to the foot rail in case the straight back doesn't go. And play the speed so that the 5 ball will go back up table in case you miss it. Instead, he played the soft speed, which is great if you shoot it that good. And don't leave it playable. That's good. Great shot. Here he could just roll the 8 ball in and leave Tommy frozen to the top rail. In any shot you take here is low percentage, and you're if you don't know where the 8 ball is going to end up, you might give something up. So I think cue ball first is the rule on when you're presented with a situation like this. And
so
there it
hard?
is. So it just shows a little bit of inexperience playing this game. Like it's whenever there is not a good shot, cue ball. That's a good rule of thumb playing bank pool. Or any game, really.
Yeah.
Even if you're playing 9 ball. Or
The effects are the same if you don't have a good cue ball. Oh,
Yeah.
Tommy ties it up again.
No, he's got. Yeah, they're 4-4 and down to last ball. But here, you know, it's an interesting situation because it's gonna be difficult for Tommy not to leave something. You know, if he's probably just gonna try and leave him frozen to the rail. Oh no, he's drawing all the way back up table. Looks like. Yeah, but it's a little bit too hard, so he's gonna leave a straight back. And Zach hit one just like this, just perfect, playing me yesterday. So let's see if he can repeat it right now.
Yeah, so he does have this shot.
This is pretty much a straight. You can make this shot with just a straight center ball, just like it's laying, and just. Let's see. Center ball will actually shorten the object ball just a touch, but that's what you need to do here. No, he's playing with top. Rolling it like that, it will almost always go long. His last one, I believe, a straight back here. Yeah, the cue ball will get out of the way. So he's playing the straight back to the bottom right. A little long. Still some life in this match and this game for Zach. Yeah, this is a little bit of a hairy situation here. You can play the thin straight back to the top top left with the other view. But again, I think in this situation you have to prioritize the cue ball. I like to use left spin to try and freeze that cue ball to the foot rail and just play it a lot slower. So because it looks like he's giving up something again. Tommy now has a straight back. Ingwall is a little bit awkward, so as far as selling out a shot, is not the worst shot to sell out. Oh, it looks like he might be playing the straight back to the top left. That's a pretty thin hit. Let's see. He's still looking at it. Oh no, he might be playing this cross corner instead. He's changed his mind. Or two rails maybe? He's still making up his mind if he wants to do so. There is a two railer to the top left, which you can play a safe cue ball that way by, yeah. By hitting the left side rail and then going laying the cue ball back to the bottom rail. And I think that's why he's electing to do. Yeah.
Got a chance.
Classic one pocket. See how, you know, he didn't make his bank, but look at what he left. So this is Tommy is a sound mover. He knows when the bank is not high percentage that the cue ball needs to be in a good spot. This turned out okay, even though I think he was trying to make that ball, but this works pretty good. He didn't leave anything. I think Tommy will try to go back to the bottom rail. And he did. Now from this position, if you can hit the cue with either a center ball, a little bit to draw, you can swing these 4x4 rails to that corner and bring the cue ball back down table. That's the shot I like in this situation. It's one of those shots that if you don't play bank pool, you might not see. And now Tommy has a 2 rail to the side, and he's probably gonna leave his cube pretty close to that top rail.
All right, Terry, here's your 2 rail to the side. I know you wanted a 3 rail, but
Yeah, that 3 rail in the side, it's a fun shot. But the 4 rail in the corner actually plays a much bigger pocket.
what a shot.
What a shot by Tommy. Nice 2 rail.
All right, we'll be
Yeah.
right back. Take a real short break. Thanks for tuning in. What a great shot there by Tommy. Good playing by Zach. Even though the score is 2-0 with Tommy on the hill, Zach is still playing well. We'll see what happens next.
Yeah, looks like Tommy is getting close to close out this match here. You know, he was always a favorite in this match to me. I like rooting for the underdog a little bit, but
Zach was in the.
Yeah.
It's 2-0, but Zach has been in both
Yeah.
racks.
in both games, and he had a really good opportunity to close the first one. He just had that let up in a stroke, and we have all done it so many times to where you have the opportunity to win a game is right there, and just get a little bit timid and let up on the stroke.
Can you hear us now, Terry? There was no commentary for the first part of this rack. Hopefully you guys can hear us now. Looks like everything's going through as usual.
That's a pretty good shot there because he didn't leave anything, but Tommy will have to open up something in order to get a good hit. So I think Tommy will just thin the off the left side of the rack as we're looking at it now. Unless he thinks he has enough room to attack these 5-4 rails, maybe. Let's see. I think he's trying to freeze the cue ball to the top of the stack. No, he is going for the 4 rails, and the cue ball in the way, and now everything is open. So that was a pretty good move by Zach. I don't know if he planned it, but it turned out pretty good because now he has. This is exactly what you want when you're down in the scores and all the balls are clustered. You want to force your opponent into a shot to open everything up so that you can score multiple balls in one inning and come back in the game.
Yeah, that was good foresight there.
Mm-hmm.
It's got options here. Looking at the 1, looking at the 3.
This ball will open up cross side, but he might have to use a little bit of draw because the natural angle is covered by the 5 ball, but he can still make it open it up. He just have to use a little bit of soft draw, or alternatively a little bit of side spin. He doesn't like it, so
Yeah.
let's see. He's opting for a straight back on the 3 ball instead.
Get out of
Oh
the
my
way.
God.
Get out of the way.
Oh, look at that. Oh, man. You go out of the way, but no. And the 3 ball was just offline. So Tommy will probably attack this 3 ball cross side. And he's probably going to leave the cue ball right on the bottom rail to not leave a return bank.
For the match here. Coming up short.
Yeah, and he has left a couple of shots. None of them are easy. I think this 3 ball does go straight back, but we will have to do something to get the cue ball out of the way of the rebounding ball. He did get out of the way, but he sacrificed the bank in the process. Now Tommy will probably attack this 4 ball. He's coming up short, and this might give up across side. Let's see. He did leave across side, I believe. Zach can attack this. He went long with that one. Tommy now will probably shoot 4 balls straight back. Oh, maybe he's attacking the 3 ball instead, or the 1 ball. He likes the 1 ball. He's close to it, can be accurate with the hit. Straight back to the top left. And
looks good.
Looks like that does it. Great performance by Zach in this tournament. Anyways,
very well done.
Nice job, Tommy.
Congrats to both players.
We'll have the point match coming up at 1 p.m. between Daniel Sardoncillo and Tony Costanzo.
So it's just a little over 15 minutes from now. So you guys hang in there, and we will be back at 1 o'clock. We will see you guys back in just a minute. Actually, 1 o'clock, everybody. 1 o'clock.